Hello, Kenny here, Cranky Old Man YouTube channel. Dummy me was doing the review on this. Now it's going to be a part 2 because I don't feel like trying to figure out how to join the two together right now. If you watched my other earlier videos, you'll know why I'm tired and I'm cranky. So anyway, I was talking about this before I turned the camera off like an idiot instead of hitting pause. Reminiscent of a paddle holster. Very nice, Safariland, positive lock, thumb activated release here, so people ain't gonna be able to snatch it out. Now criminals, they train for this in prison. They learn how to disarm you, and they know some of the ways to get the gun out of the holster. I had people who could not figure out how at all. They would pull it, and I'd be like, oh, see how easy it is? And then they would pull it, and they don't know it was a 3-point locking, push down, rocket forward, and all that, and pull it out. They're just trying to pull it out straight. So anyway, very nice. The problem is, this won't work in this, and if I took this off and didn't leave the light at all, it wouldn't work in this. Now they may make bigger ones, but it's big old honker out here like this with the light, and it's definitely not discreet. Maybe for patrol work or off-duty work or stuff like that. Maybe when you got your badge displayed as a law enforcement officer. But the problem is, even with this off, it won't go in because my optic, if you run an optic, hits the top of this, okay? And you can't cope that out because that's part of the mechanism to do the lock. You could, but then you would lose all functionality of the lock, and it would literally just be sitting in there and could just basically fall out. So anyway, this is reminiscent of this, okay? One cool thing about this is it does have a cant to it. You loosen up the screw in here. You just put the screw, the tool they gave you, go straight through, loosen that up, and you can cant this any way you want. My problem is that right where I put mine, I got a stupid belt loop. And this thing here is so hard to get it over. You need to get it all the way over and all the way to the top of this, okay? All the way over. And this is wanting to hang up. This part wants to hang up on it, and when I do get it in, I just don't feel like it's secure. And the way my body type is, I don't know, but this, instead of laying straight down next to my body along my leg, it kind of tilts out like that. And do I need to maybe heat it up and bend it a little bit more? It's really don't have a whole lot to do, but it kind of bends out like that, and it makes it even harder to conceal. And then it makes it harder to draw. If it's sticking out like that, you got to pull your shirt up and get this out. That's a con because you can't get out of it. I've actually been more a fan of an appendix now. Just don't get your booger finger in that trigger well before you clear that, or you're going to shoot yourself in the inside of your thigh. And hopefully you don't hit your artery there because you're going to bleed out in 30 seconds. So, good thing here is positive lock. Did you hear that? Positive lock. Now, if that's too much for you, it's pretty tough. But once you get it in the holster, now I got bad shoulder. I got a bad rotator cuff. And so it does hurt a little bit to get that out. But even though they don't really have a tensioning screw, I didn't read the instructions. Maybe that little thing is a tensioning screw, but I don't see it doing a whole lot. But if you look here, there's little nubs. So if it's a little too tight, take a jeweler's screwdriver and just skim, and then stomp to the groin. Now, that's a cool guy. You got to watch him. He's Ken something. He's some kind of karate guy, and he does a lot of funny videos. And he's, as always, stomp to the groin. Anyway, lightly skim that. Take a little bit off at a time. You don't want to go and take too much off. You know, take a little bit off and do it 2 or 3 times, then take it off 1 time, and then it not even lock. But that baby locks in there. And if you notice, I'm running the Afterburner Radian Ramjet with Afterburner, and soon I'll be running this if this works better than this. And doesn't turn it into a Jam-O-Matic. Samsung Shadow Systems newest release, they're allowing you to now upgrade your MR920. If you haven't heard, if you haven't watched my video, they're allowing to run your MR920 with the comp without having to buy another pistol. They're releasing the comp barrel and guide rod with a screw in it, adjustable screw, I guess, to adjust the tension, to help put a little bit more pressure so that either the guide rod doesn't move or the comp, I don't know. It's an adjustable thing, and I don't know. They said you don't need to use it. You can use your old guide rod, but I'm going to definitely try this rod out to see if it turns my CR920 and helps with that not be a Jam-O-Matic, because I got 300 rounds in that, and I already told you guys I'm going to run like 1,000 rounds from it. I'm taking like 20 Extendo, 33 Extendo mags. I'm just going to pop, 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 pop until I run all of them dry, and then I'm going to take some more ammo and take my regular mags, and it better run or it's going back because there's something wrong, and it ain't my grip. I've been shooting since I was about 6, and I've been professionally shooting, not like professional competition, but since I was 17 when I entered the Marine Corps back in the early 80s. Okay, you can figure out how old I am now. And anyway, if you see it on YouTube or you see it on Facebook, capture what they call it, put it in Google or Amazon, and a lot of times, 75% of the time, it's on Amazon. Or Amazon will link you to something very similar. Now, I don't know if this one is the same one. It's probably made by the same company, but just marketed under a different name. But this looks identical to it. I mean, almost identical. And this one's called Recover. This is the company name. G7 holster for Glock. And it's for the double stack. This will not work on a Glock 48, Glock 43, any of the thinner frame guns or the Shadow System CRs, because it's too thin. The rail's too thin, and this part won't close up tight against it. Now, I would like to see this company or the company on YouTube, Facebook, come out with another one, or maybe one of these that is can close up onto the thinner frame and still work with this. And you can buy this for, say, $14.99 instead of $40. Or come out with a whole new unit. I would like to see them sell these separate for the double stacks as well. So if you have 2 or 3 of these, you don't have to have 2 or 3 of these. You can just equip all your guns with this, have one of these, and you just, this stays on your belt, and you go, hey, I'm taking Sarah with me today. I'm taking Candy tomorrow with me, and all that. But it's nice. The only other con I have, now, a Pro, so I'll beat it all up. This has got a very good, it's rounded, so it fits your hip well, and it's wide, so it helps distribute the weight. Only problem is, like I said, this is right over my belt loop, so it makes it a little tougher, and it does kick this out a little bit like that. So that's a Pro. I like the paddle holster like that. It's damn near just like this. It's got a little bit more curve to it. But the last con I have, you're wearing this, if you're wearing this and you reach for something at the store and you reach up and this much shows, people might not know what that is. Phone case, fanny pack, whatever. If you're wearing this and you reach up, that's what they're going to see. First of all, they're going to see this part, which looks like a gun barrel. If they don't recognize this as a gun barrel and you reach up long enough, they're going to see this, which is a gun barrel, and people are going to be like, gun! So I keep my badge right here. Not that people would see it, but if I reach up enough, maybe they will. And that's the last con that I have, and that you need to be very careful about that when carrying concealed off duty, because police do shoot other police thinking they're bad. And police do other, when officers off duty or retired engage people and they got guns and cops arrive, a lot of times the cops don't know what's going on exactly, because 911 is relaying it to the dispatcher's relaying it to the officer, and stuff gets messed up sometimes. And you're out there waving a gun and they think you're the one that's out there shooting at people. So what you need to do is you need to tell somebody, call 911, let them know there's an armed off-duty or retired officer engaging a suspect, and give a good description of what you're wearing, because that's the person they don't want to shoot. And if you hear police, stop, show me your hands. Don't go, I'm a cop. You're going to get shot. So you just go, I'm a cop. I got my credentials. My badge is right here. I'm going to put my gun down. No, I'm not throwing my gun down. I will lay it down, because I ain't throwing Sarah Candy or whatever you call your gun, Gloria. I'm not throwing that down. That's $1,000 plus the optics and the ramjet and all that. So I'll lay it down. And here's my hands. My badge is here and my ID is over here. But yeah, be careful out there as an off-duty or retired officer out of uniform with nothing that says police. If you do engage somebody, make it clear. You point to somebody, call 911 right now. Use verbal judo and let them know I'm helping out. I'm here. Don't shoot me. And then the rest of what's going on. A guy with a hatchet, guy with a hammer, a guy with a gun, and maybe hopefully get their description out. So, yeah, that's just something to help try to save the officers who might be watching this channel. It's common sense to most officers, but the younger guys, I've seen officers get shot by other officers, and a lot of times because the other officers, hey, I'm a cop too, and they do one of these things or something. And there's some cops out there who are very jumpy. I've had, 12 pounds of my 13-pound trigger pull pulled back on my Glock many, many times, all on suspects though. And they were just so lucky that I didn't let that freedom seed ride down the barrel, take that lightning rod because I was close, striker fired, it will go off at a certain point. And I had to pull back pretty damn close. And I'm saying, show me your hands. And they're taking their drugs and they're going. And some cops were so nervous, they see that and they don't even look for a gun. They just see that and they shoot. I had one guy who said, I got something for you. And he did this. He came up from behind his car door and he was like that. And I nearly shot him. I was off duty, had my wife with me. I made her go inside the restaurant. She wouldn't go in without me. And I'm like, get in the restaurant so I can back up in. And I said, call 911. And this guy came up. He had something shiny in his hand. I think it was a cell phone. I don't know what it was, but I almost shot him. Luckily, he just jumped in his car and took off. 911 was already called. Officer showed up. I said, this is what happened. He had an altercation with a friend of mine. He made a suggestive threat. He went over to his car. It looked like he was doing something. I drew down on him and he left. And they were like, cool, all right, car, got a description. I gave it to them. I don't think they ever followed anything up. They didn't really care. As long as I didn't shoot anybody and nothing further happened. And that was it. That's a cop story. And I got a really good one for you that I had put on this teleprompter, and I just got to learn to read. That's it. I have to learn to read because you got this stupid remote and it doesn't work worth a crap, and it goes too fast, goes too slow. Chinese junk. All right, peeps. This one is pretty good. I don't think it's any different than the one you see on Facebook or YouTube. You get it in 24 hours to 3 days max, depending on where you're at. if you get one on Amazon. I like it. I'm not saying it's great for concealed carry, but it's good for range. It's good for training. It's good for if you are armed and carrying your badge open. We used to, as cops, be working off duty, and we would have our gun displayed at a gun shop or a pawn shop where I was working, and this would be great, and it works, and you can have your ramjet, you can have your optic on there, and you can even have your light on there if you want to put it way down there. But yeah. It's pretty good, and it's like $35, so it's a pretty good deal if you're into something like this. All right, I'm going to go. Remember, this is part 2. The first part, I started off with this. That's part 1, and I'm too stupid to hit the pause button, and I hit the stop button when I went to get this as a comparison. So, by the way, this is $30. This is somewhere north of $100 and something, maybe $129. But Safariland, one of the best you can get. Leather or Kydex plastic hybrid stuff. And that's all I got. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I'm going to launch these videos off, name them, and hopefully you get to enjoy them tonight. And I already asked people, if you like my little voice like this, instead of my voice like this, let me know. If you have to turn down your volume all the time, let me know. I watched a video the other day, and every time I swallowed like that, you could hear it. And I'm like, man, that's annoying. So I got to turn it down. There's an app, I think, that links to this microphone set. I even had this microphone set that I bought. And that's what I first used the first couple of days until I saw this little tiny fella right here. And I'm like, wow, that's nice. I like that. So, but now with this, I might be videoing with this instead of my cell phone. And that comes with its own mic with a dead cat and all kinds of neat stuff. And it's gimbaled. Not that I need it sitting here, but when I go on the street with my Street Talk, I'm going to have my little microphone in here. It's going to be mounted with a magnet. And I'll, of course, point this like that. So it's Street Talk with Kenny. Comment what you would like me to talk about. And, yeah, I will have this bad boy. And hopefully my wife or one of my side pieces will be carrying this here. And I told everybody, get your wife and your kids to subscribe to me. Make them do it. Make them do it. Get me up to 1 million. I want 1 million subscribers in the next 2 years. But I need 100 by January 1st, December 31st. By midnight. Strike a midnight. And they can fall off if they need to. But tell them to subscribe. Just leave me on there and don't even worry about hitting the bell. Don't worry about watching my videos. Let's get me some subscribers. And then we'll work about the analytics, and maybe I can win some of them over every once in a while. I got Winston the Super Pup. I'm going to put a couple on here. He hadn't done some of his stupid stuff lately, but I got this. And the best camera, the best footage you ever took is on the camera that you have with you. So when I get in the shower, he does a weird thing in the shower. He does a weird thing with my wife's panties. I'm going to capture it, and Winston the Super Pup will rise like the Super Dog guy. And my analytics from my women who drop from 13 to 9 will hopefully go back up. He's a cute pup. He was only supposed to be this big. They lied to me. He's like this big, and he's fat and heavy. So that's it. 19 hours of talking about nothing. So on top of being part 2. So I hope you got through it. I really do. I hope you like me. I hope you like me talking. And I hope you're willing to wait me out until I learn the technology to go and put all that fancy stuff up there, so you don't just have to look at me and I talk about something and I could put the video right here, and then where I can tell you about the video, and then the video plays, and then I come back on seamlessly. But I right now settle for putting the link of what I'm talking to in the description, and then you can go and do it. It's much better to hear me talk, see what I'm talking about. Talk more, and see what I'm talking about, versus having to look at it after I talk. So, and I'd rather it be on my minutes and my account, you watching it, than someone else's account. I don't mind promoting anybody's account, but if it's a 5-minute video or a 10-minute video that I'm referring to, I'd rather you watch me 15 minutes talking plus the 10 minutes of the video on my channel. I'm getting 25 minutes per viewer, versus me getting my 15 minutes and then the 10 minutes you get is to the other YouTuber that has millions of followers. You know what I mean? So I really want to get that done. So I'm hoping by the 1st, I'm going to buckle down, maybe fall off a little bit on my content and my talking, and learn how to do the computer, maybe find somebody to help me. I think my granddaughter knows how to do CapCut and stuff for her little baton editing stuff. She could probably teach me on Christmas Day when we go over there a few things. So, all right, peeps. I hope you got through part 2. I'm going to bed. Like I said, I'm going to title these and upload them, and then I'm going to bed for about 12 hours. And if you watch my earlier videos, you'll know why. Scam alert, Facebook Marketplace. Talk to you later.